Hello and welcome back to Car. It's a baby video.
I know we've been gone for a little while, but let's just ignore that. 2 years ago, I made coordinating outfits for the baby, and we build our costumes to last Ford tough. Because we build our costumes to last, we wanted to talk a little bit about the changes that we made to the costumes and things that we would have added to make them last just a little bit longer. In the original design, we made the sleeves really puffy at the top. And the reason for this was because on a baby, it's super adorable. But as they grow, that'll stretch out a little bit and give more length to the sleeve as they get taller. The same effect could be used for the shorts as well. However, in the Tudor era, as the decades went on, the shorts did become shorter. So if they grow, the shorts are just shorter. In the original design, the pants were closed with a drawstring tie. In the updated version, we took out the drawstring and added suspenders so that they would stay up a little better. By doing a drawstring closure, there was more room for growth with our child. When we originally filmed 2 years ago, he had a shift on underneath the outfit because we were filming in December. This filled out the shirt more, which allowed for more growth as he got bigger. Most of the time we opt to use tights rather than stockings because you can control the thickness of the tights, and they stay up a little bit better on children. He is wearing the exact same hat as well. When we originally filmed, he wore it further back on his head so that we could secure it to his hair because it was made bigger. This time, he wore it more as a proper hat in the correct placement because it fits his head now. For the current filming that we did, he didn't wear a shift under the outfit, and the tights were a lot thinner, which was better for summertime filming. Because this outfit was constructed for a child, we opted to use buttons rather than any grommets or lace-up details because it's just easier overall. Hindsight is 2020, and if I could go and change a couple things, here are some things that I would go and change. In order to make it even easier to get on, I think I would have done a zipper closure up the front rather than doing the button closure, just because it would have been easier to take on and off. I also think that I would have added tabs to the bottom of the jacket, mostly because it adds that extra length, and I think hindsight I would have done that originally rather than having to go back and do it now. While I still can go back and do it now, hindsight is 2020. I think that I also would add lace details to the wrists of the sleeves. It would add extra length to the sleeves, and it also would have looked historically accurate to have that shift underneath. And again, this is something that I can go back and add again, but I would have added before we had filmed. There's often a fear when it comes to making clothes for kids, especially putting a lot of time and effort into kids' clothes, because they're afraid that it's not going to last. And I think that if you put that extra time and effort into planning for the future and planning for your child to grow, they will last, and they have lasted for a really long time. Historically, things were made a little bit bigger, and they were a little bit baggier on younger children because they didn't want to have to make extra clothes for their kids either. So we do the same thing. The most important thing about making historically inspired outfits for children is making them accessible. You also have to be mindful of your climate. This costume was made out of cottons, so it can be worn in the winter or in the summer. It's not going to get too hot or too cold, and you can dress accordingly. You also don't have to spend a fortune on these outfits. This outfit was originally made 2 years ago using a fabric sample, which is less than half a yard of fabric. We typically use leftovers from outfits that Muse and I have created in the past, or tiny scrap pieces that we find for really cheap. And when in doubt, you can make a shift last for years. Check out our reel to see how that was done. And until next time, And it won't be a year this time.